opening fight, we had Jerwin Ancajas, one of the longest reigning champs in the game.
Yeah, that was a great fight. Stick to the body work, man. I think he gave away from the body work
Martinez
mid
threw
fight.
over 1,000 punches.
Wow.
I saw landed over 40% and landed over 50% of his power shots.
Thought he was going based off of how you felt.
No, it felt like 100% of his power shots.
No, I meant like it felt like he threw 1,000 punches, but he literally threw 1,000. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And before we get to this fight, before the fight, big moment for the podcast.
Oh yeah, you missed that.
Sean Gibbons met Carson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So what happened?
Yeah.
I'll tell the story accurately.
He's a big guy.
He's very tall. Yeah, very tall guy.
Oh, he ain't shook. He's a very tall guy. What
his son also a very tall guy. But so Sean, and it says
if he got out of line, I was in the cut. I would have slept him if he got out of line.
Right. You do got a big hand.
And Sean clearly, gestures to me to also introduce it, and so I shook his hand. I didn't say anything, and then I sit back down and I said, "By the way, Rigondeaux beat Casemiro." I kind of just fired it in like under my breath.
He caught it and let it go.
Because to be fair, it's before his fighters fighting, so I don't want to be like, "Hey, give me 5 minutes of your time to explain what cutting off the ring does for ring generalship." But that was a big moment. But then, Ancajas, the body work was great early but he got hit with everything.
Mm-hmm. He couldn't keep up with the pace, and
he hurt.
Kid got underneath him, got on the inside.
He hurt the guy one time. Big shot.
Yeah. He. I don't know, and I know there's a rematch clause. I believe I read somewhere, and don't really care to see much of a rematch.
I'm down.
It was a fun fight.
I'm down for a rematch, Carson.
I guess for the grand scheme of like the division, I don't think Ancajas beats him. I think it's going to be very similar. I don't think he has I don't think he's got the engine right now to do that.
I do think he got blitzed a little bit.
Yeah.
He got a little caught off guard. This kid got on the inside and could thump. He didn't know he was going to be in there with that. And you guys saw it, he kept looking for the distance. And that body shot you liked, he landed a couple of beautiful right hooks to the body. You could hear the thud in the arena. He's a puncher, but all night he got put on his heels from round one and he kept looking for the distance and didn't know if he wanted to box. And then eventually these guys, they force you to fight their fight because they're hitting you and they're starting to pile up punches, and you're like, okay, I got to start fighting and getting this guy back because while I'm trying to box, he's fucking me up. And, so he kind of. I would like to see a rematch. I'm down.
Yeah, I guess there's worse rematches to have for sure.
Right.
And they combine for like 1,800 punches or something. But no, it was a good, fun fight. Ancajas, just the defense just wasn't there. He was getting caught clean just too many times. But Martinez didn't have, thankfully for Ancajas, he didn't have like a ton of thump, because if he had some serious power, he would have been a hand down, man down. But
what you think?
Well, I like the Martinez kid. I remember you said you picked him to win before the fight started. Then I picked him to win, and then I
chose the champion to defend.
Well, I reneged, and I said I reneged. I said, Ancajas has all this experience. I said, this kid's gonna slow down. He was getting to the body in the first 2 rounds. I said, even though he lost the first round, he hit the body more in the second round. I said he's gonna slow this kid down, and then he'll take over. The kid never slowed down. One fact that I believe, this is not a true fact, but what I believe at the lower weights, they don't slow down. I believe that they have the engines that they have. Their muscular build doesn't slow them down or force them to fatigue or anything like that. I do know a little something. Okay. So I think that's why they don't slow down. I
like you preface this with this. This isn't a real fact, and then said, I know something.
Because I started realizing, like, no, you're right.
This is fact.
Yeah. So that's why they throw 1,000 punches, and they don't look new at the end of the fight, but they look very strong at the end of the fight. But this kid maintained his conditioning, maintained his level of intensity and his work rate. And Ancajas ends up being the one in the last 2 rounds really retreating and trying to stay alive in there. And so I really wasn't impressed with either guy, but at the same time, I was impressed with the heart of this kid, the Martinez kid, and I was impressed with how he went for it. Just talking to our man Mainland, he said, at the end of the day, true fight fans want to see the heart. If we can see your heart, we know that you are a real fighter. That's what makes a real fighter, you know. So seeing the kid's heart last night, Martinez, you know, he won me over.
If he's from Argentina and his last name begins with an M, Monzon, Maravilla, Martinez, Maidana, Matisse.
Yeah.
You might just want to be like, okay, in the dressing room, like let's really
get
this mid work in before
What's his last name?
Like tighten up the defense.
It's Montiel and he's from Argentina. Oh, okay, well, yeah.
I think.
Can you give me one with an R at the end?
Yeah.
Give me an R.
I think Ancajas was gonna fight maybe Ioka in a unification, which would have been an unbelievable fight. So that's why I guess that's where my root of not wanting a rematch is. I think if
I knew it was,
and then it kind of delays it. Ioka's not a super young guy anymore either.
Actually, it's funny because Daisuke Segura was next to me. He's like one of the top boxing guys in Japan.
Yeah.
And that's what he was like, oh, well, there goes that huge fight I was going to get to cover in Japan, unification.
Yeah,
right?
I thought it would have been a good fight.
What's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ant. Follow me on IG, Ant with 2 T's. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
All right. Just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then you tell them what to do. I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brenagh.
Carson Merk. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Porter Way.